Steven Universe is a show that...
This isn't a Sonic video.
Yeah. I'm allowed to talk about other things.
But you're a Sonic tuber.
I am not a Sonic tuber. I just talk about Sonic a lot. You're not even relevant to the franchise I'm talking about. Why are you here?
Yeah, I am. See?
Steven Universe is a show that I've had mixed feelings on throughout the years. I loved it during the first 3 seasons, then around season 4 I just kind of stopped caring. Likely a combination of the show being on hiatus for so long and season 4 just being not very good at all. Season 5 was a bit better, but I was still feeling lukewarm on the series once it was over. Obviously with the drop in quality with the show, I was a bit skeptical when the movie was announced. I was looking forward to it, but skeptically. Then once it came out, I opened up Kim Cartoon and
I watched it on Cartoon Network completely legally.
So here's my review, I think. Is this a review? The movie opens with an homage to classic Disney films, because it's a musical, I guess. It also uses this weird framing device of being a play. It shows up again right at the end, and it just feels really out of place. We then see how the diamonds have changed over the years, and... I think I preferred them as evil dictators. They're just so whiny and annoying. Why are they even still here? Steven should have shattered them or something. Did anyone really want them to get redeemed? That would be like if during World War II some random kid came up to Hitler, told him racism is bad, cried for a bit, then boom, Hitler turns into a needy MILF. Steven then meets up with Connie, and no one cares about Connie. And in case you couldn't already tell, this movie takes place in the future.
Here we are in the future.
Thanks, Steven. This is where we get the first song that doesn't get me so bored I start talking about MILF Hitler. The song is nice, but it's a little exposition heavy. The entire opening of the film is like that, really. It feels a little pointless considering that this film didn't even get a theatrical release, so most people watching it are already gonna know all this stuff. And where the hell is that pink hair girl from Last One Out of Beach City? Everyone thought they were setting her up to be a reoccurring character, but then the events of the episode were just never acknowledged again. Why'd you go out of your way to get her number if you weren't gonna use it? Pearl, you absolute player.
And then the best gem ever is revealed.
Okay, yeah, Spinella's pretty cool. Her song is great, her animation is eye candy. She has a cool design, and the whole rubber hose gimmick is just pulled off really well. It not only works to emphasize her playful wacky side, but also makes her feel unsettling when she's the villain, as the unrealistic noodly movement contrasts the more grounded movements of the other characters. After some family-friendly mutilation, Steven gets pissed off and cuts Spinella in half. Pretty cool to see the more violent side of Steven. Too bad he didn't use that tactic on the diamonds. It turns out this weapon is a rejuvenator, which completely resets a gem to the state they were in when they were first created. Meaning that Pearl, Garnet, Amethyst and Spinel are back to their original forms and with none of their memories, while Steven loses his powers. This starts a subplot of Steven trying to bring back the gem's memories, which ultimately doesn't really amount to much and just kind of brings down the pacing of the movie. Steven meets up with the other gems and may explain the plot to him.
How do we reverse this? Oh no. Do I need to get the diamonds?
You're the one with healing powers. If anyone can fix this, it's you.
Then starts another great song. Other Friends will always be the best, but this one is a close second for me. What do you think, Oma-chow?
That's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally meet your other friends. That's right, I heard the story. Don't really like how it ends. Gee,
Terrific. Hijinks ensue, and we get the return of Candy Floss Garnet. Also, didn't Garnet say love at first sight doesn't exist? Then why have Ruby and Sapphire immediately fused twice now? Garnet, you're a fucking hypocrite. Song's nice though. I like how Spinel's backstory is foreshadowed here, with how she snaps at Steven when he tries to leave her. The movie in general does a good job of hinting at her past without being too obvious. It gives you reason to actually rewatch the movie, since Spinel's actions in Acts 1 and 2 make much more sense the second time round. I like that. It stops her from being boring once you already know what her backstory is.
What the heck? Are you actually praising the movie? Since when do movie reviewers on YouTube do that?
Okay, well, how would you do this?
Hi guys, Oma-chow here, and here's why Steven Universe is an objectively awful show. You're a bad person if you like it, and the creator is a nonce.
I thought you liked Steven Universe.
Yes, but liking Steven Universe doesn't get you views.
Another catchy song later, Amethyst gets her memories back. Then Peridot explains to them that the injector is full of biopoison, enough to destroy the planet in fact. Apparently 15.4% of it has already been drained, but that doesn't look like 15.4% of the Earth to me. The film is really loose with how this thing works, but more on that later. Peridot works out that they have 41 hours left until the Earth is destroyed, and Steven's like, fuck that, and tries to remove it from the ground. He fails and drops it, resulting in more poison being drained, lowering their time left to 37 hours. The explanation for why they can't just remove it seems to be that A, the gems aren't strong enough to lift it, B, moving it around just accelerates how fast the poison is released, and C, it might explode. But Steven has severely weakened strength and managed to lift it. Quite far out of the ground actually, so why can't the gems lift it? If they joined him when he was lifting it, they could have easily removed it. You can't tell me that Steven, with his powers weakened, has that much more strength than Bismuth, Peridot, Lapis and Amethyst combined. Isn't Bismuth meant to be like, incredibly strong? And Lapis lifted a whole fucking barn out of the ground and into space, easily. Can Steven do shit like that? They decide the only way to remove it is to bring back Spinell's memories and get her to deactivate it. And to do that, he needs to know about Spinell's past. And to do that, he needs to bring back Pearl's memory so she can tell him what she knows about Spinell. Earlier on, Spinell and Pearl clearly recognised each other, but we never really get to see that. Pearl isn't anywhere to be seen in their flashback, and they never really speak to each other once they both have their memories back. Anyway, Steven decides the best way to get Pearl to remember her past is...
a rock show!
Like a rock show!
I don't personally see the connection myself. The rock show is taking place at a warehouse the city is being evacuated to. But why are they being evacuated to a warehouse? How is that going to help anything? They're not even that far from the injector and the building's not even closed off. There's no roof and there's a massive gap in the wall. What the fuck do they expect to happen here? How is this protecting them at all? The song Sadie performs was co-composed by Mike Kroll. Remember the Mike Kroll episode?
Where is Pink Hair Go?
The song didn't succeed in bringing Pearl's memories back. I am honestly shocked. So they decide that they need to remind her of Rose Quartz by having Amethyst shapeshift into her. Which doesn't work either because Pearl refused to look away from Greg. Because it's not like Greg could just tell her to fucking pay attention to Amethyst. They realise that Pearl only stopped serving Rose after she stopped existing. You know, because Greg fucked her. So Steven decides to recreate that by... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! You can't use fusion as an allegory for sex all the time, and then have Steven do it with his fucking dad.
But steak is hot.
It's just uncomfortable. It's like they were intentionally trying to make it awkward. I know fusion isn't strictly a sexual or romantic thing, but I don't know, it's enough to make it feel really, really weird. It doesn't help that the actual fusion between them is this sexualized. Just no, nah, nuh-uh.
But steak is hot.
The scene isn't that bad once you look past the weird implications. There's a nice song, really nice visuals, and it advances the plot by bringing Pearl's memories back, as well as causing Spinell to start remembering her past after she feels abandoned by Steven. Pearl tells Steven about the garden that Pink and Spinell used to play in, so Steven goes after her and asks her about it, and then they both go there. Spinell then reveals her backstory. Turns out that Pink became sick of Spinell and didn't want her to come to Earth with her. So she told her to stay still and wait for her to come back, leaving her waiting for 6,000 years, just to then see Steven's message from the opening, revealing that Pink has been dead for 16 years. And yeah, this feels like a pretty natural and justified backstory. I've certainly tried to destroy the Earth for less. I like the connection between Spinell and Pearl with how they both lost Pink Diamond, which was cleverly foreshadowed by how she started to get her memories back from the same event that triggered Pearl's memories. It makes it disappointing that Pearl and Spinell don't actually interact ever. This backstory is also explained in the form of a song, which is also very good. Seriously, just buy the soundtrack. Spinel's memories are now completely back and she turns into her current form. Where exactly did she get her new form though? Did she poof herself? Or can gems change form based on emotions? They change form based on memory recovery in this movie, so I guess we're meant to assume it's based on emotions? I don't know, I feel like this could have been explained. So well done, Steven Universe. You created a justified and interesting villain, then gave her a turnaround that progressed naturally and doesn't feel like a complete character change. Too bad you then fuck it up by having her turn evil again based on an incredibly annoying and easily avoidable misunderstanding. Seriously, Steven is a massive dick in this scene. He's had countless gems try to kill him in the past, and then once they turn around, he's completely cool with them. Why is Spinel the only one he makes feel unwelcome? He tells her that she deserves a better friend, but then is immediately like, later bitch. Then when she questions him on it, he just gives the dumbest fucking answers ever.
Is that all you needed me for? To turn off my injector?
No, well, sort of.
Why the fuck would he say that? Why would he think that's a good idea?
Oh, what now? I did what you wanted. That's it?
Well, yeah.
Seriously, why is he being such an ass? This conflict could have easily been avoided if Steven just didn't give such dumb answers to Spinel. Spinel starts freaking out and knocks over Steven, causing him to drop the rejuvenator. Spinel sees it, assumes Steven had it on him so he could use it on her, and she reactivates the injector. I get they needed a conflict for a climax, but this just feels really forced. It also makes her turning good, then deactivating the injector kinda pointless. Garnet gets her memories back and starts singing. Yeah, this movie has a lot of singing. Spinel then speeds up the injector so all of it comes out at once, causing all life on Earth to die. Quite a subversive ending. I like it. Well, that was Steven Universe the movie. Yeah, everyone survives somehow. The movie doesn't even attempt to explain it. Also, how the fuck is Steven climbing this thing? No, seriously, look at it. How is it physically possible to climb that? Does Steven have special climbing powers now? Are his hands suction cups? I can only suspend my disbelief so far, movie. You're gonna have to start explaining the things that happen in you eventually.
This isn't a game!
Steven discovers that the last piece to getting his powers back is his ability to change. That's a bit vague, but whatever. The final fight scene is great. The animation is fantastic, the song is great, easily one of my favourite scenes in the movie, or the series as a whole really. I love how Steven uses his bubbles as boxing gloves. It's much more interesting than him just spamming his shield all the time. I do wish this fight lasted a bit longer though. It's kind of short, and the fact it takes place on a flat surface in the sky kind of limits what they can do with it. But I'm really nitpicking here. The scene is great, I just wanted more of it. I think it's cool that the conflict is resolved by Steven just blocking her attacks until she calms down and comes to her senses. It helps humanise her. It's a nice change from having the protagonist need to beat the antagonist in a fight to save the day. The injector blows up and Steven uses his healing powers to kiss the ground a bunch of times to bring back the plant life. I really don't see how that's enough to undo the damage the injector's done, but okay, whatever. Spinel walks off and tells Steven that she wants to make friends, but she's already messed up with Steven and wishes she could start over with someone. You'd think Steven would tell her that they can still be friends, and she'd become a crystal gem to make up for the damage she's done. A nice ending that leaves the character open to be used in future episodes. Except none of that happens, and the diamonds come out of nowhere and take Spinel with them, because she reminds them of Pink Diamond, and they remind her of Pink Diamond. What a lame ending. Spinel does absolutely nothing to redeem herself. She pretty much destroys the planet and then immediately goes off to live in royalty with absolutely no consequences. Why couldn't she become a crystal gem? If fucking MILF Hitler can become friends with the gems after all she's done, why can't Spinel? It's so unsatisfying. You can't introduce the most interesting character the series has had in a long time, but then send her off to space at the end. It also feels kinda weird that it's trying to have a moral of happily ever after not being a real thing, but then it immediately has a happily ever after ending where everything goes back to being perfect and the damage to the earth is just magically gone. So yeah, that was a movie. I don't normally talk about movies, so feel free to let me know how much I sucked at it in the comments. Overall, it's a very flawed movie, mostly issues with the story. The movie has a habit of keeping things as vague as possible so you don't question the logistics of it. Like the fact that everyone on Earth should be fucking dead at the end, but it's never explained why they're not. I think the movie would be better off if he just dropped the subplot of the gems losing their memories, and dedicated more time to Spinel, since the gem subplot never really amounted to anything anyway. It just kinda felt like a waste of time. Also, just remove the diamonds. They're awful. They make the movie worse each time they show up. But there's also a lot to love. Great songs, great animation, enjoyable characters, Spinel. Despite its flaws, I'd still say it's a really good movie. If it wasn't for the weird plot issues, it would be perfect. But as it is, it's a very enjoyable movie. I'd recommend watching it, but that'd be kinda pointless, because I don't know why you'd be watching this video if you haven't already. And if you actually haven't, spoilers I guess? Let me know what your thoughts on this movie are. I'm sure I've said at least something that's pissed you off. Well, since Fusion doesn't seem to have any rules, hey Omachow, wanna fuse?
What did she say about me? What did she say? What did you do without me? What did you do? Did you play games without me? What did you play?
Well, I still think Spinel is pretty cool. Feed a little mixed on steak now though. Well, time to unfuse I guess. Any second now? Any second. Lol, fuck.